Have you ever caught yourself rubbing your eyes after a long day and thought, it's no big deal, right? Well, here's the shocker. Constant eye rubbing can actually damage your vision in ways most people never see coming. We're not just talking about a little redness. Over time, this simple habit can weaken your cornea, raise your risk of infections, and even mess with your long-term eye health. Think about it. Your eyes are delicate, almost like glass. Every time you rub them, especially with dirty hands, you're pushing bacteria, allergens, and tiny particles directly into one of the most sensitive parts of your body. The result? More irritation, more inflammation, and a cycle that silently chips away at your well-being and quality of life. And let's be real, most people don't realize how much their eyes are connected to overall health. From headaches to poor sleep, from emotional stress to cardiovascular strain, your eye health plays a bigger role in your body's balance than you might think. Ignoring this habit could mean setting yourself up for problems that don't just affect your vision, but your entire lifestyle. Here's the good news, breaking free from this cycle isn't complicated. In fact, by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to protect your eyes with simple daily habits that improve not just your vision, but your overall health, immunity, and peace of mind. Trust me, you're about to see things in a whole new light. When measles shows up, it rarely starts with the obvious red rash people imagine. The early warning signs feel sneaky, like a regular cold. A person might notice a runny nose, watery eyes, sneezing, or even a mild cough. Add in fatigue that feels heavier than usual and a low-grade fever, and it's easy to mistake measles for just a bad day. But paying attention to these little shifts in well-being can make all the difference for prevention of diseases and keeping overall health in check. Here's the deal, one of the earliest giveaways is sensitivity to light, along with tiny white spots inside the mouth called Koplik spots. Most people don't know about them, yet spotting these early could mean acting faster. Imagine checking your kid's mouth during a routine toothbrushing session and catching those little dots. That's not just parenting, that's medicine preventiva in action. Recognizing this small sign can protect immunity and keep health complications away. Another key warning is the sudden spike in fever right before the rash appears. We're not talking a slight rise, it can climb above 104 degrees Fahrenheit. That's when the body is clearly under attack, and the immune system is working overtime. Think of it as your body's emergency alarm telling you to act. At this stage, it's not just about the rash anymore, it's about safeguarding cardiovascular health, mental well-being, and even quality of life through quick response and proper care. And here's where mindfulness comes in, tuning into the body. Most people ignore minor headaches or irritability, brushing them off as stress. But with measles, these subtle signs can mark the beginning of something serious. Recognizing early signals is the first step toward protection, because once the rash spreads, complications can get much worse. And trust me, you'll want to know the dangerous symptoms that require immediate attention, because that's the game changer coming next. Once measles moves past the early stage, things can get real serious, real fast. High fever that refuses to go down, heavy coughing, or breathing difficulties are red flags that can't be ignored. These aren't just minor discomforts, they're signals that the immune system is under massive stress. And when immunity is low, it puts overall well-being at risk, including cardiovascular health, emotional balance, and even long-term quality of life. One symptom most people overlook is ear infections linked to measles. At first, it might sound harmless, like a simple ache. But in kids, this can lead to hearing problems if untreated. Imagine your child struggling in school because they can't hear the teacher well, all from an infection that started with measles. That's why prevention of diseases isn't just about big, scary complications, but also about protecting the small details of daily life that keep health and learning intact. Even scarier? Measles can trigger pneumonia or encephalitis, an inflammation of the brain. These conditions can be life-threatening, especially for young children and older adults with weaker immunity. According to CDC data, about 1 in 5 people with measles ends up hospitalized. That's not just a statistic, it's proof of how quickly this illness can hijack a person's lifestyle, pulling them away from the balance, active living, and stress-free routines they've been working on. Here's where self-care and awareness really pay off. If someone notices confusion, seizures, or severe dehydration along with measles, that's not the time to wait and see. It's the time for immediate medical attention. Think of it like catching a fire early before it burns the whole house. You act fast, because every minute matters. And speaking of fast, the next big question is, how exactly does measles spread, and who's most at risk of catching it? Measles isn't one of those illnesses that creeps around slowly, it spreads like wildfire. The virus can linger in the air for up to 2 hours after an infected person coughs or sneezes. Imagine sitting in a waiting room, grabbing a coffee at your local cafe, or sending your kid to school. Even if the sick person has already left, the virus might still be hanging around. That's why building a strong immune system and practicing mindfulness about crowded spaces can play a huge role in prevention of diseases. Who's at risk the most? Children under 5, adults over 20, and anyone with a weakened immune system. For seniors, it's especially dangerous because measles can mess with cardiovascular health and overall quality of life. For kids, it's about growth, nutrition, and even emotional health, because a long hospital stay can affect their mental well-being. Families who prioritize balanced nutrition, regular exercise, and self-care routines usually build stronger defenses, but without vaccination, the risk is still massive. Travelers also fall into the high-risk category. People flying internationally, especially to areas with lower vaccination rates, face higher chances of exposure. Picture yourself planning a dream vacation, only to return with an infection that not only puts you at risk but also your whole community. That's why medicine preventiva isn't just about personal health, it's about collective responsibility and keeping everyone safe. The truth is, measles doesn't discriminate, but it thrives where prevention is weak. Crowded cities, schools, and even workplaces can turn into hotspots. And once one person gets infected, the ripple effect is fast. 9 out of 10 people without immunity who come into close contact will get it. That's a scary number, right? Which is why the next step is all about protection, the powerful role of vaccines and the daily habits that boost well-being and immunity. When it comes to measles, the number one shield is the vaccine. The MMR vaccine, measles, mumps, rubella, is about 97% effective when both doses are taken. That's not just a number, it's a life-saving guarantee for long-term health. Parents who stay on top of these shots aren't just protecting their kids, they're safeguarding their family's well-being, their community's immunity, and even the emotional balance of knowing they've taken control of prevention. But it doesn't stop at vaccines. Daily habits matter, too. Eating a balanced diet rich in vitamins A, C, and D can keep immunity strong, while regular physical exercise strengthens overall resilience. Think of small actions like adding a morning smoothie with spinach and oranges, or taking a 20-minute walk after dinner. These aren't just healthy ideas, they're real lifestyle shifts that help maintain cardiovascular health, reduce stress, and improve sleep quality. It's all connected. Mindfulness also plays a role here. Practicing good hygiene, washing hands often, avoiding touching the face, staying home when feeling unwell, may sound basic, but these small acts are medicine preventiva in disguise. It's about building a healthy rhythm that supports not only physical health but also mental well-being and emotional balance. Plus, incorporating natural therapies like chamomile tea for stress or lavender aromatherapy for relaxation helps maintain harmony in daily life. At the end of the day, prevention isn't about being perfect, it's about consistency. A family that combines vaccination with healthy nutrition, self-care, exercise, and stress reduction builds a fortress of protection. And even if exposure happens, the body has a better chance of fighting back. Still, what if someone suspects infection despite all these efforts? That's where the next step becomes absolutely critical. If measles is suspected, the very first move is to stay calm but act quickly. Isolate yourself or the sick family member to avoid spreading it, because measles is contagious even before the rash shows up. That means skipping school, work, or social gatherings until a doctor gives the all-clear. This isn't just about personal well-being, it's about protecting the health of your community and preventing a ripple effect that could harm the most vulnerable. The next step is seeking medical attention immediately. Call ahead before going to a clinic so they can prepare a safe space without exposing others. Doctors can confirm the infection and guide treatment to manage symptoms, reduce stress on the body, and avoid serious complications. Think of it like teamwork, you, your immune system, and your healthcare provider working together to restore balance and maintain a healthy quality of life. Hydration and nutrition are crucial during recovery. Drinking water, herbal teas, and clear broths help replace fluids lost from fever and sweating. Foods rich in vitamin A, like carrots and sweet potatoes, can strengthen immunity and support vision, something measles can weaken. A mindful daily routine with rest, proper sleep, and self-care practices like light stretching or deep breathing helps maintain emotional health and speeds up healing. Finally, remember that caring for someone with measles isn't just physical, it's emotional, too. Patients often feel drained, anxious, or isolated. Offering comfort, keeping stress low, and creating a calm environment are as important as medicine itself. And once the immediate infection is managed, the bigger lesson becomes clear: health is a daily investment. Which is exactly why shifting to the next phase, understanding everyday risks to our eyes and how small habits can harm them, becomes so eye-opening, literally. So, let me ask you this: how many times today did you rub your eyes without even thinking about it? Now you know, it's not just a harmless habit. It can slowly damage your vision, mess with your sleep, weaken your immunity, and even add unnecessary stress to your daily life. The good news? You already hold the power to change that starting today. Imagine waking up with eyes that feel refreshed instead of irritated. Imagine boosting your well-being, keeping your mental health in check, and protecting your long-term vision just by making small, mindful changes. That's not just eye care, it's real self-care that builds balance, prevents disease, and supports a healthier lifestyle. But here's the real challenge: are you going to keep ignoring the signs, or are you ready to take control of your health? Because your eyes aren't just windows to your soul, they're also windows to your future quality of life. And once you protect them, you protect so much more: your emotional health, your confidence, your independence. So here's my invitation: start applying what you've learned, take action today, and don't let old habits steal your vision. And hey, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the next life-changing tip. Your health journey is just getting started.